All right, just gonna show you quickly which bank is which. On this Duratec engine 3.7, same thing as 3.5. The bank 1 is on this side, bank 2 is right here. So when this is on the vehicle, this is on the firewall, and this is on the rad. So bank 1, to find out which one is bank 1, is by the coronation of the cylinder. So you can tell here, I cannot lay down the spark plug. This is how the cylinder set up. Okay, bank 1, bank 2. Bank 1 is closer to the timing chain. That's why they call it bank 1, because it's close to the timing chain. This is how you find out which bank is which. Like looking up O2 sensor, bank 1, sensor 1, bank 1, sensor 2. That means sensor 1, bank 1 is on this side, upstream. Bank 1, sensor 2 means downstream. That's how you find out. So you have to know that if you want to buy O2 sensors and some other stuff. And same thing with this Fraser cams, sprockets right there. They had to, find out which bank you're working on. So that's how you find out. I'll just quickly set up here to easy to find out. And you can tell on the engine and the cylinder is zigzag. See, this one is more close to the front, this is more to the back. So that's how you find out which bank is which. So back to the TDC, the piston 1 right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So piston 1 is on TDC now. You can tell by the cams. Okay, I'm gonna put a light here. So you can tell the shape of this cam. Here you can see this is flat right here, flat on this side too. Same thing on the exhaust cam, flat right here and flat on this side. Those are where you put your locking tools to do timing chain replacement. So I don't have it here, it's in the house. I was gonna post a pic on the side on this video. So it's kind of like look like a fork kind of thing, big huge fork. So that's how you find out you're on TDC, because it's flat on each side right here, and that's when you place the cam holder down like that, it would slide right in. If this is not straight like this, if this is an angle, the cam holder is not gonna fit. So you know that that's a TDC on the cylinder number 1. And the marking on the chain here, I'll show you in a bit. To put that tools here, you're gonna have to take out this oil line right here. You're gonna have to take this out with this 3 bolts. Looks like a 8 mil. And then you're gonna have to take out probably one of these VVT solenoid, or not. Anyways, I'll show you that in a minute here when I do the chain. So it looks like we're good here, and same thing on the other side. You can tell, see how that flat spot right here on the side, same thing on here, the flat spot on the side. That's ready to put, it's locked and ready to put the tools, slide in place just like that, and this cam is not gonna move. Okay, so let's go back on the front. All right, back in the front. Here we go. You can tell that dot right there is facing up. Same thing on the other side. Right there is facing up. Then the crank sprocket should be on this side right here. It's hard to see. I can see it right there. And that's good. We are on the spot. So this thing, after putting the locking tools on the cams, this thing is ready to come out. Okay, I'm gonna change the water pump, chain, and tensioner, and then the guides. We're gonna change them all. A little history on this engine. Got it from the junkyard. This thing got rear-ended, so all the damage on this vehicle is on the back, and the front is good. So whatever's on the front is mint. So they pulled the engine off, and it's 115 kilometer on this engine, and you can tell it's nice, it's clean. See how little brownish right here on the head, on the cams, on the head. They are silver. They are really good. I'm gonna have to change that water pump for sure. So that's the history. Alternator, gonna change that because making noise. It's about to go. I get a new one. So this video, just gonna show you how to take this all apart. Next video, probably video 5 now, because this is gonna be the video 4. Video 5 gonna be taking all the timing apart and do a compression test. And what I got here in the package, special tools that came in to Amazon. Let's open her up. You got this, I ordered with this like about a week, and it came in a couple days ago. So it's shipping is pretty good. Amazon Prime. So alright, this is for the secondary chain adjustment tool. Hold down. And it's pretty heavy. You got some weight to it. There we go. This is a key to lock the cams. I'll show you here. Well, if you watched the previous video, I explained everything before already. I'll post that video on the link below. You have to do a tap dead center on this cylinder, number 1. Number 1's over there. Valves are closed. And all this little, see how on the side right here, it's flat. It's flat right here. That's where the cams goes in. Make sure this is a line for pressure. Oil pressure line goes in here. Oil pressure. So you have to take this off. Same thing on the other side or the other side. And so that you have room to lock the cam. So it goes like that. So the cam lock is not all the way in. I'm gonna have to turn the crank a little bit because this is not squared out. So I'm gonna turn the crank a little bit, and that cams will drop. There we go. Yeah, looks good to me. That's good enough. See, bottom out right here, and a little bit right here. Make sure if that thing bottoms out, she's all locked. Now let's do the other side. All right, so the other side, this should be going nice and smooth. There you go, bottom out on the housing of the block of the head. So this is good. DDC. That's locked. Same thing on the other side. Right, show you guys the mark here. Here's the mark right there. The mark right there on the cams. And then on the bottom here, on the crank, see the little dimple right there? That's the mark. That's probably 5 o'clock right there. So that's the mark that we're gonna have to stick. This is not gonna move anymore. Now it's time to take out the tensioners and the guides. Alright, let's take out the tension on this chain. 2 8mm bolts right here. Take out this tensioner and we'll loose everything down. And then we'll take out the chain. Here we go. Alright, in the corner here, because of this guide is on the way, easy way would be taking the guide out. I'll just use this combination wrench or a gear ratchet. Just loosen it up and then this should come out. Alright guys, there's a area right here behind here to pry it out. Okay, so just put a pry bar, little tiny one. I see coolants coming out now. Make sure catch those coolants. You don't want to put it on your oil pan. I got rag underneath here. There's a spot right here to pry. There's a lot of coolant coming out. Yeah, make sure to catch those. Alright, so pry down here. There's a spot. There's 3 spots to pry. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's lots. It's almost done. Yeah, no biggie. If there's some coolant on the oil, we're gonna do oil change anyway, so. Alright, this it's almost coming out now. Come on. There we go. So this one is out pretty easy. This looks like it's still okay, but this double seal right here, those things will leak eventually. So that's why I'm changing the water pump, because I don't want this to fail. This has a 15 kilometer on this engine, so better change it now before it gets worse than after. Clean this up around. Make sure it's dry. Alright guys, here's a brand new water pump. Double seal. We'll slap it in here. Alright guys, it's all clean now, dry. Alright guys, I just did a quickly install on the water pump. Sorry I did not show you because I want to get this thing done. It's gonna give you guys a rundown. So this is a new one already. This bolt here is 80 millimeter. After you snug them tight, make sure you torque them down in spec and on order. So you start in the middle, top, side, and then outside after, you know. So just stop middle, and then on the side, and then on the outside after. You torque them down 89 inch-pound, and then a 45-degree turn after that, and then this is set. So let's move on to the next step. All right, just comparison here. Here's the old one. You can see the line from the chain, and here's the new one, nice and smooth. We're gonna replace the old one to a new one. It's gonna go like that. Make sure it's nice and tight. Alright guys, it's time to put the chain on this brackets. All those 4 cams are good, cranks are good, all lock. Here's the part number of the chain, OE Ford product. So here's the chain look like. You notice that there's color coded on them right here. There's a gold one, there's a pink one, and there's a double gold one right there. This double one is through the crank down here, and the pink one is on bank 1, and the gold one is on bank 2. So this goes on that mark right here, and the pink one goes in this mark right there, and then the double one down here is to the crank. So let's wrap this thing around. So right here is pretty tricky, so make sure you put them sideways, this chain. So what I do is, here's the face one, I'll go flip it backwards, put it in, and then flip it back, face towards you. So now the color is facing to me now. So right there, a little technique right there. So just put it on the mark. Okay. Now just don't go under the pump yet. Just kind of go over here. Let the chain rest on the sprocket, and this one here, just gonna bend it sideways. A little tricky right here, like that. It's on there. Then put the mark on the dot and sprocket. Now this one here, Actually, you put the water pump first. The water pump is not timed. There's no mark, so it doesn't matter which way is the chain sit because there's no marking. All right, so I'm kind of a little shy a little bit, so it has to be tight. So just a little press in there, and then it goes right on the dot, right there, perfect. All right. So now work your way down here. All right, let's work down here now. There's a double notch collar right here that goes to the crank, and that dot goes in the middle, or that double colored one. So just like that, and then let's install the primary guides. Let's start installing on this side first. All right, let's put the guides. So make sure, double check that the old one is still good, like this one right here. There's no crack or wear or tear. This is okay. It's pretty strong plastic, so I always put the bolt back where it was before, so that I know when I install, like right now, I know where it go. And then you just finish it off with ratchet, just a snug like that, snug. All right, so now let's do another primary guide chain. Inspect this one. This one is good, no crack or going in pieces. This one's good, so let's put this one back. There's just a dowel pin right here, it goes into that hole like that. But first we're gonna have to line up this chain here. Alright, just make sure this line up first. I'm gonna have to like push it in hard, the chain, to the gears of the sprocket, and then I just use like a soft plastic or rubber mallet, tap it in so it would seat it right into the sprocket, this chain. So just put a tension right here so that it won't come off again, and then just put the guide back on here. Put the guide. See, you can tell it popped again. No worries, we're gonna have to like push it in. Alright, so next, this timing chain tensioner. Here's the part number. Alright, original Ford part. Hydraulic tensioner, man, this is so light. It's so light. So we'll install it, and then we'll pull the pin. It goes right there. Just kind of quickly look at this here. New one, and here's the old one. You can tell that they made it really lightweight. Cast aluminum, and this is like cast metal. It's pretty felt real, you know. It feels real, like feels good. It's a weight. This one is just aluminum. They made it lightweight, I guess. They all work the same. Different kind of style of ratchet right here. This one is internal. There's a little clip here, so I don't know. I think it just stays in there. So, all right, let's put this new one in. a little snug. Not much. I'm gonna have to put this timing right. See, I'll show you how I did. See, it's loose right here. It's not seating it right. Alright, he's gonna have to loosen this bolt right there, so that we have to let this chain seated to the sprocket, because it's not gonna line up. So just hit it like that. Just let it sit like that. Just like that. You can tell that it's nice and tight in there. And now we could tighten that bolt, lock it down. Then pull this guide over like that, and then we'll put the chain nice and smooth, and then we'll put the bolt on the tensioner. See how that tensioner is loose? There's a space in between the tensioner and the guides. Now we're gonna pull the pin, and then it will lock in place. But before doing that, just double check your work. Before pulling the pin, double check your work. I'm gonna have to keep this holder here because I don't want to pop this chain out of the sprocket. So just keep it firm, push that way. So let's start from here, okay? So pink is line up to the dot, pink color, the gold color, line up to the dot. It's tight right here, it's tight. And then gums around the bottom. It's really tight right here, no slack. And then down here, that double gold color chain, line up in between with this dot on the sprocket crank, and then come up to the other side. Is firm and tight. So let's pull the pin and let's see how it goes. There we go. Just like that. Double check. Double check. Always double check. Looks good to me. Now we're gonna have to tighten this bolt. There's no bolts on this black guides right here. It's just a pivot point right here, a dowel pin pivot point, and nothing down here. When you put the timing cover, it would press this thing down in place, and it's not gonna move anything. This tensioner, this engine will turn clockwise anyway, so it's gonna rotate like this. Lots of tension right here because of the crank rotate clockwise, so it will pull this chain down, and then right here will be a little less stretch on the chain because it goes up that way. So it goes like this, it pulls this chain down right here, more or less stretch right here. Now the next step is taking this locking cams out and then installing all this oil line. There's one cam lock. This is second cam lock. You don't need this anymore. And then we'll put this one back in here. Make sure it's clean. just a little snug tight on this, just like that. Alright, so cleaning this timing cover, what I use is a blade and a Scotch-Brite. That's all you need. Just use the blade to trim all those big silicone pieces. Just trim it out all around in the middle, and don't forget this 4 spot right here. It turned out good. All this other stuff that you see is on the outside. Don't worry about that. It's mostly what seals is on this high spot right here. Make sure those are clean. They're all nice and smooth. Then on the engine side, same thing. Blade. Use the blade, and then use a Scotch-Brite after. Make sure those are clean. Here, same thing in the middle. The other side, down the bottom, and of course the 4 in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right there. Make sure those are clean, and they are clean. Wipe them down. Make sure it's dry, no oil. Like this one right here is dripping oil. I'm gonna have to wipe that one down. Mostly in the final install, I gonna use a brake clean, spray on the rag, and then wipe it on the edge. Same thing on the engine side, wipe it on the edge, make sure it's dry, and then that's when you put your silicone on the cover. Wait for less than 3-4 minutes, and then you install it.